Robert Saleh on Zach Wilson. I just can't stand this story.
You should just do this whole thing.
I can't stand this story.
All right, you do the read and then ask yourself
The Jets are committed to getting the best out of Zach Wilson. No, you're not. Through hell or high water. Here's what Jets coach thinks is
Bob Saleh. Call him Bob.
Driving me
That'll
nuts.
stick it.
Take a listen.
With Zach, communication's constant. Again, we're not wavering. We believe in the young man, and the biggest thing for Zach it's not his talent. We want to make sure that we reconnect with Zach and regain his confidence in himself and us and him, just all of us. I think the greatest strength and greatest gift you can give yourself as a human is to figure out what's important to you. What do you value, and how can you stick to those values day in and day out? That is the greatest gift you can give yourself, is to discover yourself. And I think Zach needs to get away, read a book, and figure that out.
Hey, Kevin Wildes, how do you think the Jets are handling your guy, Zach Wilson?
Okay. I mean,
What'd you say, Brew?
The book is the playbook. That's the book he wants you to read.
So Brew is anti-Zach Wilson?
No, I'm not. I got an answer.
Hold on. No, Wildes needs to go.
Go ahead and Wildes. Go ahead and
here's my bending. If you're going to tell me that confidence is an important part of Zach Wilson's success, then don't go out of your way to destroy the kid's confidence and embarrass him on national television by putting in Mike Strebler and his arm sleeve of tattoos running around so you could score 0 touchdowns and have poor Zach Wilson on the sideline in his helmet waiting to go back in the game. They've crushed his confidence, and guess what? Telling somebody, go read a book, it's just generally like, Coach, I'm going to build you up. You know what you need to do? Go read a book. Go discover yourself. They've done a terrible job developing him, and they deserve as much blame as Zach Wilson does for the failure of the number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah, I don't know if they deserve as much blame.
45.
They may have just picked the wrong guy, and this may be a situation that they have to move on. I would think that now that they aren't playing for anything, this would be a good week to play him.
Oh, no, don't even dress him. He's be at the library.
He's going to be inactive.
Yeah, this would actually be a good week to play him because there is nothing at risk.
So why not play him?
I don't know. I would probably play him this week and see where he is. And in terms of identifying your values, I'm curious what values he feels Zach doesn't have that he needs to go find through literature. Yeah. And I'd say the best thing that Geno could do, or the best thing that Zach could do is reach out to a guy like Geno Smith.
I think those, yeah.
And call him up, go spend some time with him in the offseason, and try to understand his journey, because he's a great example of what can happen, and he was in that exact same environment. Well, that would be my personal advice to him.
Now, look, and Geno's a great example of why. Look, I'm not saying Zach Wilson's ever going to be a very good quarterback, but I don't think you give up on him. I think you keep him on the roster because you can't trade him. I don't think you just cut him.
They're trading him. Guys, they're saying all this.
For him?
Someone will give you a conditional 6th-rounder
if it's
not a first-round pick. Great.
Look, Geno is a great example. Now, granted, it took 8 years, but Geno was bad like this early in his career, and you can't give up
passing. Yeah,
he didn't tell us that.
He's 6 dimes a night.
Told us, meaning the collective sports fan of America.
30, 21, and 10. Bucks 4-0 in the second night of back-to-back.
21.
Weird Lakers Heat. This is not a great play. Dedmon, a call, complains, gets the ball stolen, and then gets called for a block. Christina, you heard her laughing in the background. She literally wrote in the document this morning, "I can't stop laughing at this play." It was a true story. Laughing during the show. Lakers win. Wonderful. Early in Georgetown, Villanova on FS1. Brandon Murray.
This is nasty.
That's a big dunk. Georgetown loses by 16. Georgetown, not very
25th
good.
straight.
Yeah, not what's going on?
I'm just going to leave it alone.
Weird. Nets Bulls. Kyrie forces a turnover while laying on the ground. Kyrie playing great. Bulls win.
Defense, Nick.
Oh, I'm not going to count that.
That's not defense.
I mean, I'm not really.
No, he's laying on the ground.
He could have quit on the play. He didn't quit on. Look at that.
Play.
Great effort.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks. Great effort. No one would have batted an eye had he just laid down there.
Bulls win. Wonderful. Hornets, Grizzlies, LaMelo Ball. Look at this. Fantastic. Grizzlies win. Hornets are not very good at all. They've got 10 wins.
At what point does Jordan being the worst owner in NBA history start
When
to
he
at least a
doesn't get-
little bit.
Never
Wembanyama.
affect the GOAT conversation.
I just feel like it's 1%.
I don't know. When Wembanyama's out there and
Oh,
we all
yeah.
move to Charlotte to watch the games, I think we'll be great. Good real estate. Big question for the Ravens. Hey, America's team, the Patriots. When is Lamar coming back? No one seems to know. And John Harbaugh's not giving us any clues.
You didn't see Lamar out there again today. Do you expect him to be ready for the postseason?
You know, I'm just probably going to leave all that stuff alone. You know, I'm going to focus on the game and just get ready to coach our guys and have our guys get ready to play the game.
Okay. Are we talking about a random offensive lineman? Or are we talking about the face of the franchise? Not great. What was your reaction?
I think this is like incredibly complex, or at least nuanced, I should say.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't blame the Ravens for being hesitant to give Lamar Jackson a contract better than the one Deshaun Watson got, or at least equivalent, which is what he wants. If I were running the Ravens, I would have real concerns about giving that type of contract, sorry, I'll be the one to invoke his name today, to basically any quarterback in the league other than Mahomes. And I would give it to Burrow, but I would, even with that, I'd be a little squeamish. Like and Josh Allen, I'd do it, and he got one similar, but I'd be a little nervous. And Lamar has not, to me, proven what those guys have. I know he won the league MVP, but he also, to me, is an injury risk that is unique, and there are a lot of intricacies of the game. I don't blame Lamar, though, for saying, that's what I want. I'm next man up. I have won an MVP. I've been to the playoffs. And as you're seeing once again, you can't survive without me.
Right.
And so now we're at an impasse where the team can't survive without him, but doesn't want to commit themselves to him for the next half decade. And he understandably is like, okay, I have, let me check, I don't know why I looked at my watch, but $0 guaranteed over the next 5 years. So I am going to make sure I am as healthy as can be before I play. And if that doesn't come by the time the playoffs start, I don't know what to tell you. So, like, I don't blame him, but I also don't blame them. But what I know is this, it's going to cost them their season. They can't compete without Lamar in the playoffs, and we're seeing it every week.
Yeah, it's not a very encouraging press conference. And when you hear head coaches talk about players that are hurt, especially the quarterback, it's they're working as hard as they can. They're doing everything they can do to be on the field. They're great in the classroom. And this is I'm gonna coach our guys, and it's about as
Cutting?
yeah, without being cutting as you possibly can be. And to your point, Nick, it's difficult from Lamar's perspective where they want him to run an offense that inherently puts you at risk, and he's good at, and he makes go, but then you don't want to necessarily commit the money to him to be the long-term solution. So he's in a bind from that perspective. The organization, they don't want to commit to him because of the injury issue, but there's been a contract like that already.
Right.
And so Lamar's not asking for something new. He's asking for something that's existing in the market currently, and they're going to have to try to figure out whether or not they want to be part of that. And here's the other thing is, each year it goes up. The price goes up. His price isn't going to go down.
Well, it's interesting, too. In truth, though, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, at that point, people thought he was good. They got lesser contracts than Watson did.
Yes.
Okay. But I think the owner, Steve Bisciotti, is just in principle, like philosophically against. I think even said it, against giving a fully guaranteed deal. All right, so I think that's a big problem. But you painted a great picture of both sides. The answer is simple: franchise tag. You're committed to 1 year, and if it in the future you have to end up paying him more.
Why wouldn't Lamar just sit out?
Correct.
Well, if he does that, then
But hold on, but here's the problem with the franchise tag. If next November he gets dinged, you're in this exact same position because there's no money guaranteed after the year. And I don't think, Coach, how many players are fully healthy by the end of the season?
Nobody.
Okay.
No,
So you're saying
everybody's
on
beat up.
his part, that's a negative, or on their part?
On the Ravens' part, I'm saying that you are setting yourself up to step on this rake again. That if you need Lamar to be able to play through stuff. You need him to. And I'm not saying right now he's dogging it. I'm not saying that at all. He has a PCL injury. What I'm saying is, I think you are the Ravens last year, the number one seed temporarily. Then Lamar got hurt. They missed the playoffs. Right. This year, they were leading the division all year, and then Lamar got hurt, and now it looks like they're going to be one and done. I would be if they don't want to give him a long-term deal, they should trade him.
Okay.
Oh no.
Just pay him. I mean, I know you're saying it's complex. Here's
They're
an
starting
idea.
over. They trade him.
Just pay Lamar Jackson. Oh, guess what? We're back in the playoffs. We're Super Bowl contenders right now.